Stephen King had a...
Randy Bachmann. Yeah.
You already know.
But it's one. His was one in. Ours is two.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
and the same thing with like Bachmann Turner Overdrive. Like it wasn't. It was Richard Bachmann. Randy Bachmann was the Bachmann Turner Overdrive. Richard Bachmann was the pen name.
Yeah, it was his pen name.
Yeah.
I like Stephen King way better, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Taking care of business. Though,
so we're here with Jim Bachmann, who
Yep.
you just finished playing Toons at Noon at the church studio.
Yep.
And we were lucky enough that you decided to bring you and your family to sit down with us a little bit and talk to us about some of your original music.
Yeah.
So thanks for being on. Welcome to the Tulsa Tempo Podcast. If you're just tuning in, we just finished Toons at Noon. What did you think, man?
It was awesome. Yeah, I was kind of nervous for that. You know,
Really?
like you play a million gigs and like you're at Leon Russell's place. You know, like I don't want to. I just want to make sure like the stool doesn't break when I'm sitting on it or some kind of dumb thing. But I got through it. It was all right. Yeah.
You had some Leon stories in there too.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for me playing over there. It was like I said, I said during the thing, my dad, first concert he went to was Leon Russell, and I've just been a big Leon fan ever since I heard about him. And then my beard turned white, and then it was just like, bought a white hat.
Dude, I see it now. Now you just got to grow the hair out.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate you jumping on, and we're going to kind of go through your first 4 songs of the set.
Okay.
Obviously, if you didn't make it out here on a Saturday to see the whole thing, you got to come out another time because these Toons at Noons are really cool. It's all local artists. It's a huge museum that is always adding archive stuff that you can check out. I think there's beer and mimosas and stuff. So it's a really cool way to spend an afternoon. But the coolest part is just listening to local music being played in the hall, the main hall there at the church. So we're going to hear the first 4 songs that you played and talk about them a little bit. But before we get into that, introduce yourself. Tell us like a little bit about you, maybe some interesting history and all that good stuff.
Yeah, my name's Jim Bachmann. I'm from Arizona. Moved out here to Tulsa about 2.5 years ago. And I played music out in Arizona, for quite a while. And we visited Tulsa a few times, and it just kind of called to us. We had just crazy cosmic things happen, and cosmic is kind of a trite word or whatever, but it really was like, can you believe that just happened?
That's cool.
And it just kept happening over and over again. And and we could buy a house in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And we couldn't buy a house in Arizona. That was another big factor. But
a good factor.
Ultimately, the people and the music and the whole vibe of this city's been fantastic.
What do you think about the Tulsa scene, man?
It's incredible. It just it's one of those things. The more you know, like the more you learn. You're like, and you meet this guy, and then turns you on to this guy, and to this person, and this person. And it's just expansive. And the fascinating thing to me, or part that I love about it, is that it all goes back. Everybody going back for however many years pulls up the next people, and people are pulling up people now, and it's just a common thread that goes through everybody, that they all revere it, the history, and they all take pride in it. And that's I don't know that it's a rare thing, but it feels like it's a special thing. Yeah,
that's cool. And you coming from outside in, probably more apparent, I guess.
Yeah.
You haven't been raised in it,
Sure.
No, that's awesome. Any particular artist stick out to you that maybe is extra revering or special?
I had. It's kind of funny. I did a weekly gig in Arizona where I would have every week I would bring friends, special guests over and have them play, and I had a buddy from North Carolina, Justin Clyde Williams, came out and he played with me. And he's like, "You ever heard of a guy named Paul Benjamin out there?" And I was like, I never had heard of Paul Benjamin. Like I knew, I obviously heard of guys like Leon Russell, J.J. Cale, John Fulbright, John Moreland, but I hadn't scratched the surface yet, going below that. And Paul Benjamin was a guy I heard it, and I was like, that's speaking to me, you know. And I met Paul, and Paul's been a great guy, you know, and introduced me to other people around the Tulsa world. And
have you done his show yet?
I filled in a couple weeks ago when he was out of town. I covered a couple Sundays for him.
Oh, that's an honor right there.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like people came to see Paul, you know, and like we were there, but so we just tried to give him our best Paul show.
Yeah.
We're just gonna groove it out a little bit, but I did get to play with him at Mercury Lounge.
Okay.
We were doing Mondays there in July, and he was a special guest with us, and it was the coolest thing.
It's funny you say that because he was on this podcast many episodes back, and when he released his album, and he is the I guess the latest version of the J.J. Cale, or you know, I guess the carrier of the torch of the Tulsa sound. I mean, everyone is in their way, shape, or form, but he's got that just I'm cool being who I am type vibe, and he's got that pocket with his playing that is, to me, the Tulsa guitar playing sound. I don't know if you've heard Johnny Mullinax. He's got a pretty similar one too. Yeah. Who do you think would win in a battle, dude? Come on.
I don't know.
Johnny and Paul.
I think it would just be a beautiful jam.
I
think it would be a great conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Two kind of unique styles, and just they both just play so well with other people together.
Yeah, they do, dude.
Yeah.
Great vibe. So cool. Well, let's get into your first song. So you opened up with an original. The first few were originals, quite a bit. You happen to remember the name of that first song?
Lifetime Ago. That's kind of a newer one that it's a newer one, but it's kind of an older one. I had parts of it for, I don't know, maybe the last 10 years or so that I was just churning on. And if I had a gig where I was playing and nobody was paying attention, you know, you're playing in a sports bar or something, and I would throw that one out there, and I'd try to figure out different chord progression, different verses or whatever. And finally in the last year, I just kind of grabbed it and I'm like, we're going to do this, you know, and I just finished it. And that one, it's kind of funny. I think it's about, you know, it's a memory song about my Aunt Loretta, essentially. And I lived. It's kind of hard to write those memory songs when you're living where somebody's like down the street or whatever.
Yeah.
But we moved away. You know, we've lived in Tulsa now for the last 2.5 years. So all of a sudden, like those songs are coming from a different place, a deeper place, I guess. And so that's kind of where that one came from. It's a lifetime ago, because you know, like you do something on a day to day, and all of a sudden, you know, the page turns, and you're like, oh, you can't go back. You know, you can't go to the barbecue on Sunday anymore. They used to do every Sunday or whatever, or just drive by and give somebody a hug or something. You know, so that's kind of where that one came from, and I got to finish that one recently out here.
That was a great song, and if you're listening in, we're going to hear the live rendition of that. Thank you, Jim, for letting us play this on here, and we get to watch him perform it as well. So take a listen.
I can't tell you how long it's been, but I know it's been a mighty long time. Always been a friend to me, you know I'll always be a friend to you. Yeah, sometimes the road just leads the way, ain't nothing which you can do. We bouncing around your living room on your head to a traveling parade. It was 1513 West 6th Drive, had the sunshine through pretty little blonde hair. Never will forget those days, you know they're always gonna make me smile. Yeah, thinking about you, missing you too. I ain't seen you for a little while. It was a lifetime ago, yeah, but I remember. It was a lifetime ago, oh man, how I wish you were here. You and me and a couple old records and a brand new bottle of wine. It was a lifetime ago. ago, oh man, we had ourselves a time. Oh yeah. Somewhere beneath the rainbow, underneath the stars, echoes through the canyon like they beating of your heart. Always been a friend to me, you know I'll always be a friend to you. Though you're miles away, just want to say, hey, missing you, loving you too. It was a lifetime ago, yeah, but I remember. It was a lifetime ago, oh man, I hope them days so dear. You and me and a couple old records in a brand new bottle of wine. It was a lifetime ago, oh man, I think about you all the time. Was a lifetime ago, oh man, I had a time. Was a lifetime ago, oh how I wish, oh how I wish if you were here. It was a lifetime ago. Man, those years, they go so fast. The days, they go so slow. Was a lifetime ago.
All right, we're back from the first song. I hope you enjoyed it. Toons at Noon. If you haven't been out here, you need to get your butt out here on a Saturday and sometimes Tuesday. It's the best way to spend a Saturday afternoon, besides maybe watching some football. But if you want to get out and check this church studio out, you should. So anyway, we're back. So second song.
Play That Pretty One. Yeah. So I grew up watching my family play music. My grandpa and my uncles and my dad played, and my dad played keyboards, and his brother Wayne played keyboards also. But on my mom's side, they're all guitar players, and they'd be sitting around passing guitar around every once in a while, and my grandpa his line was like, "Hey, play that pretty one, I was like 15 years old, and learning not pretty songs at the time, like, I don't know any pretty songs, Grant. So I just took it upon myself to try to write one, and it's just about, that, just sitting around, and another memory song, I guess, talking about the old times.
Was the song written when you say it was your grandpa that would say, "Hey, play that"? Was it written then, or was it?
Oh, I wrote that song probably in the last 6 or 7 years, I'd imagine. And so it's fairly new, I guess, if you want to call that new.
No, that's cool. Yeah. No, that is new. But okay, so he would just hear you messing around and be like, "Hey, play something like that."
Play that pretty one, yeah.
That inspired.
Well, it would just be your turn, He'd play. So he was a Merle Travis type of guitar player, like thumb and doing the melody and all that kind of stuff. Like, he was really great at doing that kind of thing. And I was learning minor pentatonic blues box stuff. Different worlds, sorta, but
no, it is.
Yeah.
Isn't everything in country? Isn't it like a major or like?
Yeah, I remember when I could finally learn, I could play something in a major key.
Yeah.
Oh, you can play something in a major key.
I took guitar many years ago, but for some reason it seems like it was all major. Is that twang?
Yeah.
Of some sort. I may be wrong. I don't know, but
no, you're right.
Rock is minor.
It kind of blends those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, speaking of, growing up and your grandpa influence, is there anyone like that you can think of that maybe had the biggest influence on your music career? Anyone in particular? Any one person that maybe?
Any one person? That's tough. I will say my dad made a lot of things possible for me. Just like third grade, I remember he bought me this Casio keyboard for Christmas. I'm like, I don't even know how to play. He's like, well, it's like, you're going to go and I'm going to close the door and don't come out till you know how to play Light My Fire.
Oh my gosh.
And he let me out. I still know how to play that song, but he was always catering to my interest, like taking me to concerts and, has records. I listen to all his records, and I'm kind of more in touch with that generation of music than my own in some way, you know, because when things came out, new music came out, I was like, I don't know, some of it seemed like kid music to me, because like kids were literally listening to it.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to stuff that my dad and my uncles and those kind of people liked, and I kind of got stuck in that old thing. Not stuck. I mean, that's just kind of what spoke to me. You know, I mean, you follow what leads you, and that's what I like.
Yeah. Do you listen to any modern music now?
I don't know. Music is so weird now. It's like there's no radio stations that you listen to that like there was before, where you get new stuff at you. There's some new stuff I listen to, but it's more like rooted in old stuff. You know, I mean, I don't sound like I'm some old codger or something. I do like all music, but it's consumed differently now.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have a CD, and I would know that, and I would know who wrote every song, and I know all the stuff. But now it's just like something cool happens, and you hear it, and then something else cool happened, and then you just kind of lose that other thing. For me, anyways.
No, it does. It's like flows like water.
Yeah.
Is how you turn on a water fountain,
right,
and then get all the music you want and turn it off when you want.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a different world. We can go Rick Beato on all over the place if we want to, but we won't. Okay, cool. So, well, let's get into your third song that you played for us. Or excuse me, let's actually listen to your second song. Thank you, Caleb. Let's take a listen, and you guys get to see it as it was performed here at the church. Toons.
This one's about my grandpa, so I'll play that pretty one, you know. It's like this. Lay that pretty one, you know. Let me know the key. I sing harmony on that pretty one, you know. Lay that pretty one, you know. Take it round again. We can't all remember when. On that pretty one, you know. We've been picking and grinning since about noon. Well, your mama's in the kitchen. She's cooking fried chicken. That wild turkey's floating. Thomas playing spoons. Yes, anybody seen a grown dude? Yeah, that pretty one, you know. I want to hear you bend them strings. I hear you singing, I'll be late. On that pretty one, you know. Yeah, that pretty one, you know. For it's time to leave. Till then I'll see you in my dream. On that pretty one, you know. We've been picking and grinning, singing soft, sing low. Come on, put your sweet lips closer to the phone. Well, Susie's singing crazy, Skippy's looking for a light. Yeah, he says it's time to come home. Yeah, that pretty one, you know. Just picking and grinning. Baby, can't you see we're feeling kinda misty? That woman's done me. Just sitting on the front porch. Georgia on her mind. Only me to blame, cause mama tried. Yeah, that pretty one, you know. I like to hear you one more time. The one about them angels flying. On that pretty one, you know. Yeah, that pretty one, you know. Yeah, that pretty one, you know. Yeah, that pretty one, you know.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. I know it was really nice hearing the tone of the guitar and the voice and that just wooden, I guess, cathedral type entryway. It just
it's beautiful in there.
It sounds so great. I don't know. Did you notice any kind of a vibe or anything about being in the church studio, or is there anything?
It is hallowed ground.
Yeah.
You know, for me, like the Leon thread has found its way in my life in a lot of different ways. You know, it's kind of subtle ways and some real overt ways. So being there, you know, it was fantastic. And the sound in that room was great too. There's a couple songs where if I project a little bit more, I leaned back off the mic and I was thinking I was going to lose the volume, but it didn't. It just like
Yeah.
the reverb in the room and everything just kind of filled it up, and it sounded like almost nicer than coming through the PA, you know.
No, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
It's
I'm
cool.
with you on that.
Cool room, man. A lot of thought into like every detail in there.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. Did you see the hanging pieces of the church? Right above you,
Yeah.
there's like all those little sculpture pieces. You can,
Yeah.
when you stand the right distance, it's the church.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And if you just look at it at any other angle, it just looks like a bunch of hanging
Right.
sticks. But that thing's amazing. I guess that guy that developed that, or that did that piece of art, also is the same guy that built the Gathering Place. I don't know
Oh,
if you've
really?
been out there yet? Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
realize.
cool.
I found that out
didn't know
yesterday.
either. You just learned that yesterday?
I found that out yesterday, and we've been working here at church for a while. I heard one of the docents talking about it, and I was like, "Is that real?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's the same person." So he's just got an artistic view on life, I guess. So
That's cool.
okay, so
Oh yeah.
get the band back together. Okay,
I was
let's talk
trying
about
really
that.
hard to remember, and I could not.
Thanks to Caleb for.
Yeah.
Well, talk us about that song, man. What went into writing that, and what's your history on that?
So that was the true story of that song is that I was in a band with these guys, and just as bands do, they just kind of dissolve. Life happens and things change. And I was at the grocery store and I saw my old buddy that I hadn't seen in years, and we just got to talking about things, and we're like, we got to get the band back together. And like just about everything in that song like really was part of the conversation that happened. And it's one of those songs like I love that song, but I don't love that song because it's like it's just right on that funny edge of things. It's just like it's a feel good tune.
Yeah.
And you know, like you write songs like I don't know if I want to write a feel good tune. You want to write this stuff that just like twists the knife and you're just deep dark feelings. Or I'm like I'm just gonna write this happy song that's about a band, and I just made it A, E, and D, which is like Garage Band City.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of the song too. Like you just get in it with your buddies, and maybe you don't know how to play a happy song yet. You can play A, E, and D though all day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just kind of a
Any particular guys in mind when you?
yeah. The guy that I ran into was a guy named Chris Barrett, and he was an upright bass player, and he was a fantastic human, fantastic musician, and it blew my mind. There's a band called the Agrolites. You familiar with the Agrolites? There was a California kind of a, I guess you'd call them I don't know if you'd call them a punk band. I don't know what you call them, but they kind of do, they're a great band.
Yeah.
Like I hate to define bands. They're a great band. But Chris Barrett was in a band with a lead singer, a guy named Jesse Wagner. And the Agrolites were just kind of blowing up. And Jesse called up my buddy Chris, was like, hey man, we need you to play bass in this project. You want to do it? And he's like, no. It's like, I'm happy at home with my wife and my dogs. Like, I'm not going to do it. And it just blew my mind that this guy, like, you out there doing this thing. And he was just like, nah, I'm cool. And like, that was always fascinating to me. And so part of that song was with him. Like, he was just content, just living his life, and he didn't have the twisted part that had to do it in front of people and all that. And there's a line in there about, you ever hear from old Chris? Like, he's not drinking anymore. Like, I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less. Like, my other buddy Chris, both of these guys, both of my Chris friends quit drinking. And they did their thing. And I was like, well, I fully intend to someday. Like, I haven't had a problem with it, or whatever. Like, some people just get tired of doing it. But I was thinking about Chris Orff as the guy.
Okay, cool.
To answer your question.
No, that's a good backstory on that. No, it's and you're right. Some people, the ambition isn't there to do much more than. George Harrison said it. He's like, someone came up to him, and I can't remember who it was. I'm sure it was a journalist or something. They're like, "Don't you miss like being part of the group?" And he's just like, "No." He's like, "I'd rather tend my garden."
Right.
I mean, rather spend the day tending my garden than out there running around doing all that stuff. So I guess there is a once your cup's over full with all that action, I guess you've had enough. So no, it's cool. I respect that. I didn't understand it when I was younger either, because I was always, what is the action? What are we doing? What do we got to get done? But very cool. All right, so let's take a listen to our third song in and enjoy it like we did here at Toons at Noon.
It goes like this. Well, I saw an old friend at the store the other day. 15 years, maybe more, man, that guy can play. How's your wife? How's your family? You believe this well? Really good to see you, man. It feels like forever. You gigging anymore? No, work's been hell. Taking care of my dad since he slipped and he fell. But every once in a while, I'm sitting down on the couch. I pick up the guitar and those old songs come out. I say, let's get the band back together. Let's get the band back together. Let's get the band back together. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's kind of the same here too. I don't get out much no more. Well, do you ever hear from old Chris? Somebody said he left town, staying real busy, just avoiding those crowds. You finally quit drinking? That's probably for the best. I don't drink anymore either, buddy. I don't drink any less. What if we can find? Still got his gear, I got a couple new songs I want you to hear. I said, let's get the band back together. Let's get the band back together. Let's get the band back together. Well, I'm free on Tuesday, man. How about you? Oh, Wednesday's no good. Thursday's bad too. Finish by 10 though, maybe we can jam at my place. I got an amp over here. Just bring your bass. Yeah, my neighbors go to bed early. I gotta get up at 4. I know it's getting late, but we got time for one more. Play that pretty one, you know. Play that other one too. Take you around one time. Don't stop if you're through. I said, let's get the band back together. 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 All right. Extra points for Nancy, that crowd participation. She was picking up what I was doing there. I like it.
All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the song as much as we did. So we've got our fourth song and last song that we're going to play today. Tell us about Lifers.
Lifers. Well, as we all know, the Leon fans, they call themselves Lifers, right? Well, Lifers. I was talking to my buddies, we were just talking about it before, where like, maybe you're going to dip on this whole thing, and then you get a call and you just go play some gig that maybe you didn't want to do, but you did it because like you just do it. It's just in you. You can't get away from it. And so it's another one. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek song, but it's a real song. Like we're Lifers. You can't get out of it.
Where did you write that? Like, when did that come to you? Was it pretty similar? Because it seems like in the same vein as the
it's more recent. That song. That's probably. I was actually in a. Yeah, I wrote that one this year, as a matter of fact. It's probably the newest one I got.
Is it really a Leon Russell tie, or did that
no,
was another
not
coincidence?
Really. It was another coincidence where I wrote it, and it's like we're Lifers. And then we actually went at the Tulsa Theater. They were doing the Leon concert earlier this year, and the Lifers. And I'm like, I just wrote a song about Lifers. I'm like, all right, well, here we go.
Yeah. No, you tied that in perfectly, man. No, it was great because there's a couple lifers that walk around this studio on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And you know them because they're still stuck in that set 1970s, 1960s same outfit that they had. And they remember it like it was yesterday, and they would just go hang out at Leon's house. I mean,
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you knew much about him or not. The more I work here with church, the more I realize, or more I learn, and he was that open of a book. I mean, you would just knock on the door and, hey, what's up? We're practicing, and somebody would let you in. It was just this community
awesome.
type home, which I guess looking back is kind of cool, but at the time, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
But he was, and they've stuck with him throughout their whole life, and they will always be top fans. He has a birthday bash every year here in Tulsa. All the lifers come out.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Leon. So you wrote that song from a similar vein as the last, which is you're going to be doing this.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
And it was one of those things too where like there's a line in there about that 15-passenger van is my daily driver. Like I've several different friends are like, you wrote that about me, didn't you? I'm like I know like 5 dudes that drive 15-passenger vans. So all my buddies are too. You know, we're all lifers, and it's just like we got the wire loose where you're just gonna do it. You know, or I don't know. I talk about it like it's a bad thing, like it's just what we do.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. You think it'd be nice to not do it, but like this last week, I haven't had a gig. I don't remember what my last gig was. Last weekend, last Saturday maybe. And so I had a full week of no gigs, and it was like, that's weird. I don't know how long it's been since I've had a full week of no gigs. And you just get a little twitchy, you know. But
so you going to do anything with this original music? Have you already recorded it? Or
I've been since I put out a record a few years ago before we moved from Arizona, and so I've got about 3 years of stuff that I'm kind of churning on and figuring out. I've got some stuff that's kind of like a vibey southwestern kind of thing. Then I've got a bunch of songs that are kind of like what I did today, more acoustic, that are going to be another thing. And then I've got another group of them that are a little more like kind of got that Tulsa stank on them a little bit. So I think I got like 3 different things that I'm kind of
I want to hear some
working
of those,
on.
Man. That Tulsa, with the Tulsa influence, what's done to you.
I tell you what, man, I've been very fortunate to just play with some fantastic players out here, and a lot of different ones, and they're all fantastic, and they all have their own flavor, and it's all in the same direction, and everybody supports what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the coolest thing. You guys are such a cool thing out here.
Yeah, I agree. It's always been something about Tulsa's scene. I don't know what does it, and everybody describes it their own way, but there is a humbleness, a brotherhood. There's a style, and it's just been passed down through the years. It's kind of like a gospel, bluegrass, blues. Everybody has their reasons. I heard John Woolley say that they thought that people were going from New Orleans to Chicago and were stopping along the way. And that's kind of how the influence started to get here. And then from there, it turned into its own sound. I don't know. He's kind of a historian and all that stuff, so maybe that's how it happened. But the roots go deep, man. And all right, let's listen to this final fourth song. We're glad you're here, Jim Part of the sound, here live at Toons Noon.
This one's called Lifers, and I know that
next week looking better, hopefully.
Yeah.
Leon fans are called Lifers, so I figured it's a good place to play this song. Well, I'm in here for life. I can't walk away. I don't have a choice. I'm in here to stay. All that I'm doing is all that I know how to do. Ever since I was young, called out to me, knew right away I want it to be rhyming my feelings, singing and strumming, until the day that I die. Yeah, I'm a lifer, another nightlife survivor. Well, that 15 passenger van out there is my daily driver. Yeah, I'm a lifer. I committed no crime. Yeah, I'm a lifer. Doing 3/4 time. Well, you can see me on a Tuesday from 8 until close. I'll be playing those good ones everyone knows. In between big screens, probably under a flag. I might play some petty, I might play some hag. I'm a lifer. Yeah, I'm no 9-to-5er. Yeah, it's the best kind of work. If you're calling this work, I'll never get to retire. Yeah, I'm a lifer. Oh, it's just what I do. Oh yeah, I'm a lifer. All my buddies all too, all play for mama. Well, that old boy sitting in the corner, been hauling out for more. He's a sucker for a phaser and a 4 on the floor. Me, I'm just trying to leave here more than I can. Well, oh yeah, it's your birthday. This song's for you. Everybody join in. She just turned 22. You'll have to forgive me, I don't think that I called your name. Oh, me? Well, I'm a lifer. Another night life survivor. Nothing feels quite as good as an old piece of wood with new wires. Yeah, I'm a lifer. I committed no crime. Oh yeah, I'm a lifer. Doing 3/4 time. Yeah, I'm a lifer. Yeah, what more can I say? Oh yeah, I'm a lifer. This is my 3rd gig today.
We're glad you're here and part of the sound, and we're glad you're doing things locally, and we got to get you booked back up. Is next week looking better, hopefully?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Tell me when.
All right, good. And I appreciate you being on here talking about some of your originals. Where can, if someone's listening and they want to hear more from you, where can they go?
I just go by my name, Jim Bachmann,
Okay.
2 N's, and it's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, all that stuff.
And hopefully some more stuff evolving
Yeah, definitely
soon.
more. Yeah, I'm working on it right now. So
That's awesome, dude. Well, we appreciate you jumping on here. If you guys haven't been out to Toons at Noon, come out, check it out at the church studio. We are the Tulsa Tempo Podcast. We take local artists, talk about their original music, what inspires them, what drives them, and we hope you enjoyed talking with Jim Bachmann. Thank you.